Here's for the game. Here's for the Viking. Here's something Viking. He thinks it's awesome.
Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I'm here to talk to you quickly about a cool new thing I just backed on Kickstarter. Well, I didn't just back it, I backed it a few days ago. And then the creator of said Kickstarter reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to take a look at the thing that I backed early. And of course I said yes. And they asked me if I dug it, if I'd share it online on my channel, which I'm going to do now. And what I'm going to show you is, this is going to sound a little weird, it is bookmarks. Yeah, basically bookmarks for keeping a spot in a book. You know what these are. Maybe sometimes you fold a page over, or you use a piece of string, or whatever piece of scrap paper you have handy. But this is actually a functional bookmark. It isn't electronic, it isn't anything, it's totally analog. But what it is a fantasy, well, it doesn't have to be fantasy, it's just a role-playing game bookmark. And this is them. And you're like, okay, well, so what they look nice. I mean, because I'll show you when I show you the close-ups, I'll show you the artwork and stuff close up, but it looks really nice. But it's from Nord Games. That's what you see down here. It says Nord Games, which of course Nord, you know, like Norwegian Viking, which I am. But you can see on the top there it says NPC, and then here's one that says monster and spell and background and item, and if you can kind of get, here's class, and then finally here's one that says race. Now if you can probably guess, since those things are on the top, you're able to put a bookmark in one of those in your giant, huge role-playing game books, and you're able then to mark the spot in the book that you're looking for, and you can just turn quickly to that. Now, I'm going to show you these, like I said, close up, and I'm just show you them in action, if you will. But you know, yes, this isn't really groundbreaking, but they are super cheap. You can get you're going to get a ton of them for almost nothing, because they've totally destroyed their stretch goals and everything like that. I think they're almost up to $10,000, which makes me angry actually, because this is an ingenious idea, and I'm going to show this to you in just a quick second. But the thing about it is that it's like, why didn't I think of it, is kind of like my mentality that it comes to. So, but regardless, let me quickly show you these. I'm going to show them in a couple different books. I'm going to show them in the cool 13th Age. If you haven't played this, it's a pretty awesome, cool take on, I need to do a review on this, actually. It's a really cool take on the fantasy genre. And then actually I have a big mega adventure, the new big mega adventure, Sword of Air, that came out from Frog God Games, and I'm going to put the bookmarks in there, and you can see how that works. So, something also that I needed to do a review of. But, regardless, so, here we go. I'm just going to show you how these work. I'm not going to come back and do a conclusion. You don't need me to tell you how cool these things are. So, alright, cool. Here we go. Alright, before I show you these bookmarks, well, if you can show a bookmark in action, I guess, I'm just going to go ahead and show you some of these close up so you can kind of see the artwork. Here's a race. They are double-sided. Each side is different. NPC. Monster. Item. Class. Like I said, the artwork is amazing. I really like this. It's very, very fantasy-oriented spell. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't use these for, like, a science fiction one, though. I mean, you just, you know, just the pictures obviously wouldn't represent it. But I could see using these for the Strange, you know, that new Monte Cook one. That's pretty good. So there you go. So that's what they are. They are very thick. Maybe you can kind of see that here. Maybe not. And they have, I can bend them like this, and they're fine. You know, I mean, I don't see these being crumpled up or anything like that. I probably will when I get mine. They're going to be laminated. I don't know if they're going to be glossy or linen finish, but I mean, and this is just like a sampling of the, if you go to the Kickstarter page, you're going to see there's tons of them, and they're actually, with all the more, they almost got 10 grand now, so the more they get, obviously the more options they're going to have, and the more bookmarks you're going to get with your pledge. So, and the cool thing is, like, there's one pledge level that you pledge it, and then, like, you get like 4 sets of them. So you can be that cool guy that gets these for your gaming group, and you can be you don't have to pay for pizza that night or something. So anyway, here's 13th Age book. If you haven't heard about 13th Age, it's a pretty awesome new take on the fantasy system, if you will. And so you can see up there, there's the bookmarks. and there's even one over there. And so, obviously, you know, it's a bookmark. So what do? If you want to read about your race, you turn, and there's your dwarves, and you read about your race. If you want to read about your class, you turn, and there's your information about your class. Now, the cool thing is, like, you can actually fold it in there like that, and when you close it, you just reach down there, and you grab it again, and pull it out, and move it to where it was before, so you can actually see it. You want to read about your spells, you just turn, go to your spell list here. This is like 3rd level spells for clerics there. If for some reason, if you're the GM and you want to read about monsters, you can turn, and here's stuff about gnolls or storm giants or whatever. And because you can run out of room up on top like so, you can stick them off to the side like I showed. And so like maybe you have to read about the magic item that you have. So you turn, here's like the cloak, magic cloak that you have. So I mean, it's, you know, they're bookmarks, so they're going to work exactly how you're going to think they're going to work. So here's Sword of Air. This is the big giant new mega adventure from Frog God Games, and same deal here. I'm going to show you. So like, obviously it's a GM thing, so you have NPCs, background, item. So like, obviously I'd probably have more if I was running this, so I could look up. But so like, you know, it's like, oh, that one NPC that I know they're going to run into. So here's the stats for Joe Plate Mail, because I know they're going to run into Joe Plate Mail, and we got to make sure that that's there. Or, you know, it's like, they're going to the Sage, so turn it, and, you know, here's the Sage Mandrake the Sage, and so there's his stats and stuff like that. Or, you know, if I have a storyline that they're following and I'm trying to keep them up on, you can turn, and here's like the background for the Isle of the Ruined Mage. It's right there. Yeah, I know they're gonna be going there, and there's my little text or whatever that I'm supposed to read out loud to the players if they go there. And of course, then if they find those cursed items, here's the appendix with the cursed items and things that they might be finding. And so, obviously, for books that are of this size, like the Sword of Air, I mean, it's like a giant mega adventure. I mean, I'm definitely going to use these bookmarks for when I run the Slumbering Tsar, which is the huge adventure by Frog God Games. But, I mean, there you go. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I can't believe nobody thought of this before, or if somebody thought of it before, unfortunately, they aren't the first person that tried to monetize it, I guess, if you will. But go check out the Kickstarter. Like I said, and obviously you don't have to use the bookmarks for this. You could just use them for your books, you know, normal books, whatever. The artwork's amazing. The quality's amazing. I urge you to check it out, and for just like the cost of a couple of meals, you're going to get a bunch. I've already pledged them, I think 20 or 30 bucks. I'm going to get a ton of them for all of the RPGs that I'm running, and for all of my players as well. So there you go. That was the fantasy bookmarks from Nord Games.